Welcome back. On Capitol Hill, Republicans say they have a deal of sorts to keep the government funded, but they still have a lot of work to do to get those votes together. Let's bring in our political panel, Ashley Etienne and Kevin Sheridan. Ashley is a CBS News political contributor who served as communications director for Vice President Kamala Harris. Kevin is a former RNC spokesperson and senior advisor to the Romney-Ryan campaign from back in 2012. Great to have both of you here. Let's begin with you. The Republicans are trying to get together on Capitol Hill. Do you think this bill passes? Does Speaker Johnson get a win here for President-elect Trump or not?
Yeah, it sounds like from your previous interview and some others that I've seen today and some conversations I've been having that there is a pretty committed caucus that's going to try to hold leadership's feet to the fire. But yeah, they've got to get something done. They've got to get it done quickly. There is a contingent, obviously, that's been there for 2 years now, for more than that doesn't mind seeing the government shut down. Donald Trump's the wild card here, though. Obviously, he's the leader of the party, and he does not want, I don't think he wants an extended shutdown. He's been tweeting about it today, some saying that it wouldn't be the worst thing, but we were talking about it earlier, going into inauguration. He's got so much momentum, he doesn't want to completely upend that.
Yeah, though the shutdown would happen if it does occur this weekend, technically during the Biden administration. So the question is, for many Democrats on Capitol Hill, do you see Leader Jeffries saying to all of them, hold firm, no one break? Or do some Democrats maybe jump across the aisle and help the Republicans pass a deal?
No, I don't think it's in Democrats' interest to have a shutdown on Joe Biden's watch. So I think they're going to give the votes needed to pass the bill. But they're definitely have the bigger hand in the negotiation and are going to ensure that they get something out of the deal. They're not going to give votes without getting anything out of the deal. So the question is, what more do they want out of the deal? We've not seen any specifics about what's in the bill, but I can't imagine that they want this to happen. But for me, I think what really the question this raises is who's actually in charge? Is it Donald Trump that's answering to Elon Musk? He came out before Donald Trump and set the stage of the debate and the negotiations. You know, he spent $250 million to elect Donald Trump. He's going to want a return on that investment. And that's clearly what we're seeing right now is he's positioning himself to be a major player going into the next administration.
Elon Musk. Sometimes when you get very high profile around President Trump, now President-elect Trump, former President Trump, it can cause you some political pain. I think about Steve Bannon landing on the cover of Time magazine back in 2017. Based on my reporting, the president at the time didn't love that. Elon Musk
This is the great hope of all Democrats I've been talking to, is that this relationship is going to break apart in spectacular fashion. Right now, I don't see that happening. I think they're useful to each other right now. Both of them are getting a lot of what they want. Elon's been very effective. He's got the biggest microphone in the world, other than Donald Trump's. And when Donald Trump needs to put him in his place, if he ever does, I think he will. I don't see it. He's got the political base that Elon doesn't have. Elon's got a lot, but he doesn't have Donald Trump's political base.
Yeah, I mean, and according to recent polls, 53% of the American people don't want Elon Musk to have a big position and role in the government. So that's going to create some opportunity, I think, for Democrats to keep framing up this next administration. It's run by billionaires. Donald Trump's completely checked out, that these people bought, influence and are now calling all the shots.
The transition is polling very well.
No, I said Elon Musk is not, in fact.
Well, Elon's been a big part of the transition, and the transition is very popular right now. So hopefully this shutdown doesn't get in the way of that.
What's next for Vice President Harris?
Oh, good question. I don't really know. I mean, she's said to me and others, I just was at her house this past, I think maybe last week, that she's going to stay in the fight. She's demonstrating that. She just, I think, held an event just not far from here with young leaders saying that we all need to stay in the fight. And I think she's absolutely right. You know, my advice to her would be to take some time off, to take a deep breath, and really assess this last race and identify where her positioning is in the Democratic Party. What is her unique voice? She could be the face of the opposition going in the next 4 years. I mean, the Democratic Party is itching and desirous of a leader that's going to stand up to Donald Trump. I remember when Pelosi came out in that first meeting with Donald Trump and she, did a combination punch back and people went nuts because finally we got someone who's going to stand up to him. So does she want to play that role? Does she want to be the face of the opposition? position. I wouldn't recommend she become the governor. I don't know what she gets out of that particular deal. But what role does she want to play in the next couple of years, I think, is a serious question she's examining right now.
From the Republican perspective, beyond Vice President Harris, how do you see the new Democratic leadership slate post-President Biden and how they're handling the Trump moment so far?
So far, they've been a little slow to react. Honestly,
too, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen a leader emerge that's going to be the face of the Democratic Party, because they have to go through the same process Republicans have to when we're out of power and have just lost a race. They've got to go back, assess what happened. Why did they lose? Why did they lose in virtually every county in America where that moved right? And so they need to take a long time. I'm not going to tell them how to do that, but I think Gavin Newsom and others will jump into the fray at some point. And
I think here's a reality, Bob. My former boss, Speaker Pelosi, I think said it best, which is power isn't given, it's taken. So it's not, from my perspective, it's not who is the party going to allow to emerge, but who is going to force their own hand and put them and thrust themselves in front, out front as the head of the Democratic Party. So, but we've got a deep bench, a lot of incredible messengers, a lot of incredible legislators. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
We'll certainly have a lot of opportunities as President Trump disrupts Washington next year. A lot of opportunities there. Ashley Etienne and Kevin Sheridan, thank you so much for being here. We appreciate it.